speaking in public about how they are facing retaliation.
These people are here to tell the truth about what's going on. But I'm here today to tell them what's going on the inside of Muni. The city and county of San Francisco had to come up with the first $122 million in order to get the federal funding for the subway. The city and county of San Francisco stolen our trust fund money that was supposed to be given out in December of this year to fund, to show the federal government that they had the $122 million matching funds for the Central Subway. Then they stole our lunch time on our runs. We violated our health and safety. The people of the city and county of San Francisco and the riding public need to know that their lives are in danger because the way that these runs are structured does not give an operator an opportunity to rest, regain focus. This Central Subway will be very damaging to this community, Chinatown community. It's a subway to nowhere. And when I say subway to nowhere, I mean it's a waste of money. We got buses with defective tires. We got buses with paper bags, over 600 volts of electricity going through them. And the people's lives are in danger. And the people need to realize that the MTA needs to be broken up and the power of attorney be put back on the Public Utilities Commission. And the decision making needs to be put back on them. Because as long as the MTA is here, they're working for the businesses, the capitalists, and the developers. They're not working for the public. And just like I would like to echo what the brother Steve said. Steve said that there's no labor or consumer person on that MTA board. Ed Lee has appointed people that's for him, for his agenda. His agenda is making sure this subway goes through. And it's a waste of money for this tunnel when we have inadequate services out here to serve the public. We have no means of working equipment to serve the public. We can't even serve the public when they're not fixing the money. When they're not fixing the buses, they're taking the money and putting it in this subway that's not needed. And another thing, BART is against this thing also, because when they start digging this subway, they have to go under BART. And they're gonna, the BART and the Muni existing subway may collapse. And the BART engineers told them that, and they're not listening. They're not listening to the BART engineers. All they care about is making sure that this subway goes, well, who is it gonna haul? It's not gonna haul anybody. It's a waste of money. If they wanted to do something with that money, they could have enhanced the signal maintenance, repair the coaches, and make sure that the services are provided to the people, not taken away from the people. Now, that Central Subway ends at, I believe, Stockton and Sacramento, Clay, or Washington. How are the people going to get from Washington and Stockton to North Beach, to Fisherman Wharf, to the marina? Because they're going to terminate the 30 line once the subway is finished. They have a 20-page manifesto on how they're going to do this if this Central Subway, that they won't release that to the public. They're not telling the public the truth that this subway is more damaging than it will hurt and help the city and county of San Francisco. So what we got to do today is write our senators, write our politicians, and let them know that this subway, to stop this funding for the Central Subway. The Republican Party is against it, and we we need to stick by the Republicans and let them know that this Central Subway is a waste of money. They need to take this money and do better with it. Enhance the service, provide better buses, brand new buses. But there's a lot of stealing going on in the MTA that they're not telling the public. So they robbing Peter to pay Paul. This budget deficit is because of their own negligible behavior down there in the 1 South Van Ness. And they paying for a tunnel that they don't even have the funds for. And the federal government, we hope that the federal government don't give them the rest of the money for this tunnel. And we need to put pressure on them. It's election year. Some of them up for re-election. We urge them to vote no on funding this Central Subway.
Mike Bernardo, also who works for Muni, is going to speak and say a few words.
Hello everybody. As you've been reading, you've always been hearing about Muni has such a huge budget deficit. Well, the budget is over $750 million, yet they cannot balance the budget. In the year 2000, the budget was about $150 million. We were 30% larger as far as service levels and greater than that as far as operators, and yet our wages are not 30% higher today. Why is it that the budget cannot be balanced? It is because that MTA Board of Directors is siphoning money off of Muni with the exorbitant rates of pay to do nothing but cut service, when my putty cat could do that for free just for a mouse or a bird. But those dummies there have done nothing. And they talk about Prop E, but Prop E specifies that the general fund is supposed to give Muni some money. Instead, Muni is funding the city. If it wasn't for that, we would be even, and if they would make everybody pay their fare, we would actually have a surplus, which could be used to repair and overhaul the buses, buy more buses, not as replacements, but as additions, so we could increase rather than decrease service. And furthermore, you're always hearing about this is a transit-first city. That is a lie. If this was a transit-first city, they would be increasing service, not cutting service. This is a developer and automobile, tire company, and oil company city first, because that's what they want people to do, is drive the automobiles. They would not be cutting service constantly if they wanted you to use Muni. Thank you.
Howard Wong is an architect. He is a member of Save Muni and a founder of Better Chinatown Tomorrow.
One of the unfortunate bits of information that most people don't know is that the Muni's reports to Washington acknowledge that in order to operate the expensive subway, over 36,000 hours of surface buses on Stockton and Columbus will be needed to be eliminated. In other words, most of Chinatown's Muni riders in North Beach, Russian Hill, the Wharf, and the Marina will lose bus service. And that's something that is unconscionable. Also, people living in the southern part of the city will no longer be able to go directly on King Street or the Embarcadero or connect to Market Street's corridor. In other words, all the people south of Market will have longer rides to the waterfront, to the Embarcadero station, to the Montgomery Street station, to the Powell Street station, to the Civic Center station, and so on at Market. This is not a wise use of public funds, and that's why we oppose this subway project.
This is what the head of the MTA said in response to the Board of Supervisors' resolution to support. He said that he thanked them for their support, and he said it would decrease travel time between Chinatown and Visitation Valley. That's the travel time that will be decreased. Now, all the people in Chinatown and all the people in Visitation Valley, they need decreased travel time to Market Street, to BART, to Muni, and that head of the MTA knows that they will not get that from the Chinatown, this supposed Chinatown subway. And that's why we are protesting this. It will not make transit better. We would be better off paying better. It will take more time for the people in Chinatown to get where they want to go. In fact, this is being pushed as the Chinatown subway, but it is the Chinatown subway not. According to the MTA, which is the one planning this, the total ridership of all the buses on Stockton is 76,000. And according to them, only 8,000 of those riders will be using the subway starting in Washington Street, the Chinatown stop. So only 10% of the ridership of Stockton will transfer to the subway. So it's the Chinatown subway, not. Also, 80% of the total riders of this subway will ride between Union Square and the end of it in 4th and King. Only 20% of them are getting on in Chinatown. So this is the Chinatown subway not. The truth is that most of the people in Chinatown are going to ride the buses just like they did before. So why are the politicians saying, well, this is a done deal? We can't help it. It's going to go on no matter what. The truth is that this opens up Chinatown to gentrification, whether they like it or not. This subway is going to be so expensive, and when it's done, people are going to say, wow, we've got to get back this money somehow because there aren't very many people riding it. Let's tear down some of those old funky buildings in Chinatown and build some nice tall condo towers for the rich people, and they can get on that subway and they can get to Caltrain so easily and take their jobs to Silicon Valley. So they're going to make this more of a bedroom community for Silicon Valley. This is the Chinatown subway not. We need jobs, but we need jobs that will make this city a better, more functioning place to live. San Francisco has in the past had the courage to reject giant public projects. Let's not forget that at one point it seemed inevitable that a freeway was going to be built across San Francisco, going through the Panhandle, so it would be much easier for cars to get to the Golden Gate Bridge. And only through the protest of citizens was that freeway stopped. And I think we can all agree that we would rather have the Panhandle and Golden Gate Park as it is than a freeway to the Golden Gate Bridge. So I, as a candidate and as a Green, I really am supportive of a Green New Deal with really great public transit. I am totally committed to public transit with buses every 10 minutes from 6 a.m. to midnight and totally reliable buses. And I believe that the people in Chinatown need better bus service now. They need low-lying buses so it's easier for the old people to get on and off. They need all-door boarding. There are many things that can be done right now to make the buses in Chinatown run on Stockton Street run much faster. And that's what we need to do for the people in Chinatown. Not this ridiculous boondoggle that enables them to get to Visitation Valley faster, makes it more difficult to get to Market Street. It will take them more time to get to Market and transfer than on that subway than it takes them now. And this is what we need to do for the people of Chinatown. I'm sorry, but this is a mistake. We have seen what happened in Boston with their big dig that just became a fiasco. A boondoggle went on and on and on. And you all for coming. I think we see in this whole project the results of the Democratic machine in San Francisco. We are a one-party city. It's unhealthy for North Korea to be a one-party state. It is also unhealthy for San Francisco to be a one-party city. There are no voices who are part of the establishment of this city who are challenging what is going on. The Democratic senators, the Democratic congresswoman, all the Democratic supervisors are just going along to get along. And so things keep going and going, and something that started out as a drawing on a cocktail napkin in a restaurant in Chinatown between two power brokers, Rose Pack and Willie Brown, expands like a horrible cancer and has the possibility of destroying the Muni system. We need to stop this now. And I thank you all for coming, and please participate in electoral politics, vote, get involved, so that we can elect people who will make wiser decisions for our community, and contact your representatives and tell them you want to stop the Central Subway. It is the Chinatown Subway, not. It is time to stop this and come up with a plan for a Green New Deal that will mean really great public transit in San Francisco. Thank you.